Harry's wife thrown into chaos. If it had been anybody else, well, I suppose apart from Amber Heard, Ellen DeGeneres, Jada Pinkett Smith, James Corden, arsehole, you might feel a little bit sorry for Harry and Harry's wife as a consequence of bad timing. But because nobody likes them, apart from the idiotic shuggers, nobody's going to provide them with any sympathy. But you might think that they could possibly had a little bit of a rough run with things. First of all, when they were back in London last year, they sought to basically relaunch themselves. And Harry's wife, of course, only 1 month earlier had declared war against the royal family with that very vindictive Cut interview. She undertook the red carpet appearances in Germany and the United Kingdom to try and make herself look good. And then, of course, all of the momentum that she was building was taken away by the Queen rather inconveniently dying. This also, of course, meant that 1 or 2 episodes of Arsey Wipes didn't go ahead as she apparently attempted to show respect. But the fact is, it took the wind very much out of her sails. Then, of course, was the fact that she had previously swanned into Uvalde with Netflix in tow, something which was roundly criticised and again resulted in the removal of momentum. There's also the fact that her Spotify podcast, whilst it was invariably shit, the fact is that Spotify was investing big, really big, in podcasting and saw it as the way to go. But then, as a consequence of a downturn, it laid off 200 people. And it may well be the case, of course, that this downturn contributed to the Sussex's contract being quashed, terminated, no longer required. And therefore, this was done because finances were tight at Spotify. They saw it as a shitty product and thought, no, we'll get out now. In more flush times, they might have kept it going. So you might think to yourself, touch unfortunate, really, for Harry's wife, that these things have occurred which have pulled momentum from what she's been attempting to do. Of course, none of you will have any sympathy for her because she's an unlikable individual. But once again, something has come along which has thrown her plans into chaos. Now, I don't believe in karma, but I know some of you do. And you might see it as some kind of karmic retribution that's been occurring, because as the Daily Mail reports, Prince Harry and Harry's wife's £80 million Netflix deal and projects are thrown into chaos amid Hollywood writers' strike. Production of Prince Harry and Harry's wife's future shitflix projects has become tough due to the Hollywood writers' strike, a source close to the couple has said. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex released a 6-part documentary called Harry and Harry's Wife last December, the first project to emerge from the £80 million deal they signed with the network in 2020, shortly after they stepped down as working royals. And as we all know, most people tuned in because they wanted to see what a load of bollocks it was. 3 weeks later, on New Year's Eve, they released their second Netflix production, Live to Lead, which was about, boring, global leaders who have fought for social justice. Now the couple are said to be in talks to front a third Netflix documentary about bananitarian issues in South Africa, which will see them meeting local communities. Although rumours abound that those local communities are attempting to camouflage themselves so that they can escape Harry and Harry's wife. Apparently, GoFundMe accounts have been set up to establish a security cordon to prevent Ginge and Winge from coming anywhere near the South African people. One individual who declined to give his real name explained that we don't like them, and we are worried that they are just going to add to our many problems in South Africa. We basically want to ensure that they stay away and they don't pile on the problems when we've got so many to address ourselves. A source close to the Sussexes told the Daily Telegraph that it was tough to move forward with any Netflix projects because of the ongoing US writers' strike. Hilary Duff, Bob Odenkirk, and Kevin Bacon are among the stars who have joined fellow actors on the picket lines amid the largest industry strike for 60 years. They were seen holding placards saying, "Strike, don't let the Sussexes have any successful programs," and "Fuck the Sussexes sky high." Strike action took place yesterday outside major studios in Los Angeles, including Shitflix, Warner Brothers, Disney, and Paramount, but 2 were cut short due to the heat and it not being very exciting. Action began on Friday, or rather a lack of action, I suppose, because nobody be calling that with a writers' strike, after contract negotiations between Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA, Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, AMPTP, broke down. Approximately 160,000 actors are now resting even more on strike across the US, including the 11,500 members of the Writers Guild of America, who walked out on May 2nd. It is the first time both unions have been on strike since 1960, when SAG-AFTRA was led by former US President Ronald Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall, Reagan. Now, the ongoing strike is also impacting plans for Harry and Harry's wife's Netflix documentary, Huzzah!, which is set to see them visit South Africa, with the action meaning they cannot yet move forward with production. South Africans explained, "We're still out in the streets celebrating the fact that Harry and Harry's wife got married. We celebrated just as much as we did when Nelson Mandela was freed from prison." No official announcement has been made on what the new programme will be about, but the Sunday Mirror reported that it's likely to be shit, boring, and fucking useless. They could also be shown helping to build houses in villages they visit, something that we really can't see Harry's wife doing, as that would actually involve her in doing some honest work. A source told the newspapers that cameras will follow the Sussexes at the behest of Harry's wife as she stares down the camera lens, and they visit compounds and share medical education, which presumably is Harry pulling out his Fisher-Price doctor's kit and saying, "I think I found a pulse," with production set to be a combined project from Netflix and the couple's Shitwell Foundation. The source added, Harry's wife is particularly keen to share information about giving birth safely with the women she meets, given the fact that she's not actually given birth herself. However, a report in Page 6 claimed that it could be a solo production for Harry, as once again he's left wanking like a chimp, following in the footsteps of his mother, Princess Diana, Princess of Wales, who also went to Africa to raise awareness of land mines. And it would come after Harry and Harry's wife went on a royal tour to South Africa in 2019, when they were still working royals, one of the few occasions where Harry's wife bothered her arse to do something, which saw them meet community members in townships by suggesting that rather disrespectfully a number of mothers should sit on the floor. While production of the new show is being planned, it also emerged that Harry's wife at the time made a big song and dance about a heater, claiming that it nearly burned down their housing compound. The show saw them hand over a trove of pictures and videos from their relationship, including the moment Harry proposed. The first 3 episodes contained a series of swipes at the royals, including Harry's claim that he was literally brought up by a second family in Africa, where he chose to spend 3-month stints in his late teens and 20s as he came to terms with his mother's death. It is also claimed that the UK is more obsessed with race than the United States, with Harry's wife declaring that she wasn't really treated like a black woman until she decided that she would play the race card. Harry and Harry's Wife, directed by Liz Garbus, has been nominated for a Hollywood Critics Award in the Best Streaming Non-Fiction category. It's up against Prehistoric Planet 2, Rainn Wilson, The Geography of Bliss, Renovations, The 1619 Project, and The Reluctant Traveller with Eugene Levy. The nomination comes after Harry and Harry's Wife's Spotify deal fucked up and ended early. Meanwhile, the Hollywood strike is still ongoing, meaning actors will not film new projects. Ah, right, that's what a strike is it? Thank you, Daily Mail. I wasn't really aware. Or promote their films at junkets, premieres, award shows, or conventions, including the 2023 San Diego Comic-Con, which is due to begin on Thursday. On Saturday, the global premiere of new Disney film Haunted Mansion went ahead at Disneyland in Anaheim, California, but without stars Owen Wilson, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Tiffany Haddish. The cast of Christopher Nolan's new movie Oppenheimer decided to bugger off out of the London premiere last week as the impending strike broke, and planned junkets for films including Barbie has also been affected, but not as greatly, since the dolls are quite happy to stand around all day doing nothing. Well, there we are. Potential problems for Harry's wife ahead, with another threat to her control being posed by the fact that the proposed bananitarian escapade, which will probably just be Harry wanking around in Africa. I really can't see her bothering her backside to go there. After all, are there any paparazzi? Unless she flies them in. And what about all the boutiques she claims that she needs to go and shop in? Is there a Monty Shitshow farmers market in South Africa, for instance? It's likely she's not going to turn up. It'll be too much like hard work for her, exhibiting her sense of entitlement. Instead, Harry will be the one that will go, if, of course, the documentary or series, whatever you want to call it, actually gets made. Quick dip below the line, always entertaining. Henry Fon's adds rather entertainingly, "Why do they need writers? I thought it was all true." Henry Quiz, "Thank you, strikers, keep it up." ST137, "How is anything they do worth £80 million? They are nobodies." Dr. Clive, "Excellent news. This will give them the privacy they are yearning for." Lucy, "I'm more interested to know when the next series of South Park starts." Toon, predictably enough from Newcastle Lake Man, "Great news, now please go away." Not concentrating. Are they seriously trying to blame the strike? And what about all the other years? Diamond 1CT gets it right by saying they'll blame anyone, including each other, rather than facing the fact that it's themselves. Toon pops up again. "No one is interested." Alphacino, "More good news. There is a silver lining to every dark cloud. Hopefully the writers never go back to work." Caroline, "Just be thankful for small mercies." More problems for Harry's wife. Sympathy, 0. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.